Hey everyone, welcome back to Fact or Fictional. I'm your host, Veronica Belmont, and this is the show where we look at the cool tech and science from your favorite TV shows, movies, video games, and comic books, and ask, is this really possible? And if not, why not? Last week we talked about Y the Last Man. In this story, all the males on the planet are wiped out. They are extinct. And could civilization go on at that point? There's one man and one monkey left on the entire planet. Sounds like a lot of work to do, guys. Now, some of you guys out there got a little bit riled over this topic because we did come to the conclusion that it is possible. But J-Boy Casper brought up a good point. He said, if all the men were extinct, who would kill all the spiders? And you know what? I had a really snappy, feminist comeback to that, and then I was like, no, J-Boy Casper, you're right. Who would kill all the spiders? I'm not killing the spiders. Is the monkey gonna kill the spiders? Maybe the monkey can kill the spiders. Could they eat the spiders? Would all the male spiders die? That would take care of half the problem. This week we are speaking to our guest, Andrew Gentile, a renowned hypnotherapist, to find out if the portrayals of hypnosis and mind control that we see in popular culture are anything like what happens in real life. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us here on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
I'm a hypnotherapist, so I work in private practice helping people overcome emotional issues, childhood traumas, behavioral changes.
Now, mind control, hypnotism, things like that have been present in a lot of pop culture media over the years. I think most recently and most famously, Inception is probably one of the biggest ones. Now, there's a lot of different ways that people can do mind control, whether it be, chemical, through surgery, other means. How does that relate to what you do? Is that possible? Can someone be controlled in some of the ways we've seen in pop culture?
Yeah, that's obviously a fun topic for sci-fi, fantasy movies and the media to play upon. But as in most areas of exhibition in the media like that, it's an exaggeration of reality in most cases. So hypnosis is all about mind control in a way, and there's great examples of that if you ever see a stage hypnosis show, which is the use of hypnosis for entertainment. Those shows are really great at exhibiting how hypnosis is used to modify people's thought patterns, their beliefs, and their behaviors in the short term, so within a 2-hour show, for example. And then there's hypnotherapy, and hypnotherapy is the part of hypnosis people don't usually know about, but that's to actually help people and help them transform emotionally, mentally, spiritually. But in terms of mind control, it's a big question mark as to how it can really be used, because it's completely unethical to actually experiment in those realms.
Now, I know the mind is a very malleable thing. Is it possible for someone to maybe not control someone's mind completely, but like Inception, to implant a memory, implant some kind of thought, and then use a trigger to kind of make it feel real?
Yes, absolutely, and that's one of the things that is demonstrated in stage hypnosis, and it's called a post-hypnotic suggestion. So first you bring the person into hypnosis, and then you implant the suggestion, and the suggestion is to be implemented after the hypnosis, or post-hypnotically. And so, yes, that's something that happens all the time. And to a lesser degree, that's used in hypnotherapy as well. So the next time you see a pack of cigarettes, it makes you feel disgusted. You don't want to touch them. So hypnosis is used for behavior modification in that way as well.
Are some people more susceptible to this than other types of people? Is there any way to know going into it if someone's going to be more, receiving this kind of information?
Yeah, susceptibility is a topic that's discussed a lot amongst hypnotists and hypnotherapists. And there's different sort of tests that can be done, like personality tests, questionnaires, but there's nothing written in stone to really determine that. It is generally seen that about 10% of the population easily goes into a deep state of hypnosis. I should mention that hypnosis is a spectrum. There's very light trance or light hypnosis, and there's very deep trance or deep hypnosis. The deeper states being more like a dream state.
So overall, would you say that something like Inception or any other film that uses a mind control or hypnosis kind of thing, are they going way off the deep end, or are they kind of portraying it in a way that you would see as theoretically possible?
Yeah, they're delving into areas that, through the exposure of some of these old CIA files, for example, we're seeing that attempts to do things like that really have been in place. And if we hadn't had the exposure to those historical records, we would have thought it was a conspiracy, and we would have thought it was science fiction or fantasy. So I think there are forces in the world trying to figure this out and trying to do this. But I think for the most part, it's exaggerations. I think as humans, we're so unique and we're so variable that it would be really difficult to systematize and have predictable results for that kind of mind control.
So is a trance state similar to a dream state, or are they completely different?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, there's a spectrum of trance, a spectrum of hypnosis. And so in the lighter states of trance or in the lighter states of hypnosis, generally, if I'm the person in hypnosis, I'm highly aware that you're the hypnotist talking to me. I'm hearing your words, and I'm also visualizing, seeing the things you're describing, but I'm very aware of the context in which it's occurring. In the deeper states, I lose sense of you, and I'm more free-floating in the experience. And you are almost like the architect of my dream in that way. And that's where it does become a little bit more like Inception. So in those deeper states, we can have an experience of a running, sort of lucid dream in a way, where it's being controlled by the outside party, for example.
Wow, so can you implant ideas or thoughts into the dreams that maybe manifest later in your waking life?
That's essentially what a lot of hypnotherapy is. So if someone has a fear of flying, for example, then we lead them into a dream-like state of hypnosis, and then we have them very much in control of the airplane. So they have a very positive flying experience where it feels very controlled, very safe, and that instills a new sense of safety, a new sense of confidence, that the mind then adheres to that experience of flying. And in that way, the phobia can be eliminated. We also, in terms of using hypnosis for dreams, we can ask the subconscious to reveal information that may have been hidden or forgotten over the years to the client in a dream later down the road, if we weren't able to access that information in a direct hypnosis state.
So overall, would you say that it is possible to implant an idea or a message into someone's mind, either using hypnosis or through subliminal messaging, kind of the way that we see it in pop culture, or is it completely different?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Generally, the person has to be willing to go along with it, so it would only be under extreme circumstances where it was against their will.
Can you tell me how to program my dreams? So I can have the dreams I want to have? Is that a possible thing?
Just before going to sleep, you start talking to yourself. It's like the subconscious is another person inside of you, kind of like a loyal dog in a way, and you're giving it instructions. So just before you go to sleep, as you're drifting off, you start telling yourself, tonight I will dream about. Tonight I will dream about.
I'm going to try that.
So, and that's called self-hypnosis in a way. Self-hypnosis is a whole application of using hypnosis on yourself.
Very cool. You guys should try that too. I'm going to try that when I get home tonight. Andrew, thank you so much. That was fascinating, and I'm going to try to make sure my mental barriers are up in the future to keep out propaganda and potential government interference.
Protect thyself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I be hypnotized? Okay. All right, so walk me through this process.
So first you want to relax the body. You can start with some nice deep breaths, bringing the breath deep down into your belly, settling in, letting go of all outside thoughts. And now as you settle into yourself, imagine that there's a staircase extending down before you. There's 20 steps going down. And you're going to be walking down these steps. And as you go down each step, you're going to be going deeper and deeper into relaxation, into a deeply, deeply relaxed and focused state where nothing can bother you, nothing can disturb you. So begin moving down those steps now. 20, taking your first step down, and 19, 18, deeper and deeper. 17, 16, deeper, relaxed. 5, down to 4, deeper and deeper. 3, 2, and 1. Floating now in a beautiful space where everything you like is all around you. A sanctuary just for you.
It was all cats.
This is your future.
It was my parents' basement, then it was all cats. I'm sorry.
and relaxed.
So maybe we're not going to have any dream machines implanting, lucid dreams into our mind anytime in the near future, but the mind is an incredible thing, so I am giving this one a fact. Everything I heard today made me believe that not only is it possible to implant thoughts, memories, ideas into your subconscious, but it sounds like it's already been done to some pretty nefarious purposes, and I wish that we could learn more about that, even though, man, those files are sealed. Like, whoa. Also cats. There's cats just everywhere, all around me. That's all I see now are cats. Well, that's it for this episode of Fact or Fictional, and in fact, it is our final episode of the show, of the series. So thank you to all of our guests who have been on in the past 50 episodes, all of you out there who submitted topics and ideas for the show, and of course all of you that watched every week and left comments, and it's been a fantastic run. Thank you guys so much. I learned a lot. I hope you guys did too. But I'm not leaving the internet. I am still on Techzilla here at revision3.com. You can check that out every week, and of course you can still follow me over on Twitter. I've got new stuff coming out all the time, so stay tuned. Thank you guys. See you later.